here we go. Marshall's ready. Driver's ready. Down and quiet. And they're off. 30 minutes, guys. Use your heads. You got a long way to go. Long way to go here. Settle in for the long haul. Oh, looks like Drew Spurgeon upside down early on. Marshall's trying to get out there. All sorts of carnage on the backside. Back each other up. Marshall's back each other up. You can't win it on the first lap, but you certainly can lose it. So let's see, Chicky, looks like Chicky out front early on. In the Serpent, through the disco ball, coming to complete lap number 1. So Paul Ciccarello, Dave Taylor to second, Elliott third, Lebo in fourth. And Jimbo up into the top 5 after 1 lap. Drew going to drop down to 6 after that mistake. Pryce 7th, Aberdeen 8th, Bobby Moore 9th, and Battaglia your top 10 after 1 lap. So all 16 cars completing the first lap. It is Ciccarello, Taylor, and Elliott starting to pull away from the pack. $1:15 down, 28:45 to go. Ciccarello, Taylor, and Elliott, Lebo, and Kvidera. Two minutes down, 28 minutes left to go. Dave Taylor taking over that lead last time by, but it looks like Chicky moving by for the lead once again. So check out this. Oh, and Chicky goes wide. Oh, Dave gets sideways down the straightaway. Spurgeon, I'm calling it Dave, but Drew after that first lap rollover. Drew now back out front, and Paul in second. Donald Elliott in third, Taylor fourth, and Jimbo top 5. Lebo 6th, Miller 7th, Battaglia 8th, Komisar 9th, and Gleason your top 10. Garland running 11th. What happened to Bobby Moore? Lewis to 12. Thomas to 13, Pryce 14, Aberdeen 15, and Bobby Moore might be off the track here. Bobby dropping on. No, there he is. 59-second lap for Bobby Moore going all the way to the rear. So he's still out there, but just a real rough lap. So Bobby's got some work to do. So the battle for the lead, Spurgeon, Elliott, and Ciccarello. So Paulie now moving down to the 3rd spot, but he knows it's a long way to go. A lot of the times the guys that charge hard at the beginning end up charging too hard and either wearing something out or making a mistake and hitting something. And there's Spurgeon making another mistake. So that's going to put Donald Elliott, your 5th qualifier, in that pink buggy through the whoop section up to the lead. So coming into the disco ball, your race leader, Donald Elliott with Paul Ciccarello right there. Battle for the lead. Down the straightaway they go. Elliott and Ciccarello. 3rd spot still Drew. We got 4 minutes down, 26 to go. Jimbo now moving up to the 4th spot, and Dave Taylor in 5th. All right, coming up on 5 minutes down. 5 minutes down. Ooh. Good job by Paul Ciccarello slamming on the brakes to avoid contact with Elliott. So they're coming up on traffic here. I'll do my best. Once again, the traffic going to pull aside on their own. I believe that might have been Bobby Moore. Thank you, Bobby. Letting the leaders go by down the straightaway. And indeed it was Bobby letting the leaders get on by. Thank you, sir. So Elliott, a little mistake there. So here, and Elliott goes wide. Chicky to the inside, side by side. They get together over the backside double. And Chicky spins out. Then Elliott makes a mistake. And then I believe, not sure if that was Bobby coming back or Drew. Drew was 8 seconds back after the first lap. We got 5:30 down, 24.5 to go. We'll let them all cycle through back by the line. 40 and over. Remember, top 5 going to go to the podium right after the race. We're not doing it at the end of the night like usual. Dave taking a page out of the JBRL playbook. Right after each main event is when the awards will take place so that the folks can leave and not have to stick around. So Elliott, Ciccarello doing battle still over that backside double-double. Drew Spurgeon now only 3.5 seconds behind. Jimbo in 4th and Dave Taylor your top 5. Lebo in 6th. Gleason, Rob Gleason running up in the 7th spot. Looks like Komisar now running 8th. Garland in the 9th spot. And your top 10 gonna belong to Battaglia. Battaglia now your top 10. Thomas in 11th. Lewis in 12th. Aberdeen 13. Looks like Miller dropping like a rock. Pryce 14. Bobby Moore 15. And Justin Miller might have problems. 6:45 down, 23:15 to go. All right, first round of pit stops coming up as we are almost at 7:30 down with these 30-minute mains. Most guys are coming in at 7:30, 15, and 22.5. So every 7.5 minutes, 3 pit stops. So we'll give you about a minute of silence to work on your pit stops. Pit stops coming up. All right, minute of silence is over. It's 8:30 down. Everybody should have had time to come in for the pit stops, so we'll let these pit stops cycle through. Next pit stop should be about the 15-minute mark, 15 minutes. So it's going to be Paul Ciccarello down the straightaway, your race leader. Donald Elliott cycles around back to second, and Drew Spurgeon third. The top 3 all within 5 seconds. So Ciccarello, Elliott, and Spurgeon, your top 3. Dave Taylor running in that 4th position. And your top 5 are going to belong to, it looks like, Jimbo Kvidera up to the 5th spot with Rob Gleason in 6th. Lebo 7th. Garland, Thomas, Komisar, your top 10. Aberdeen 11th. Battaglia 12th. Pryce, Lewis, and Bobby Moore. 9:30 down, 20.5 to go. Drivers 9:30 down, 20.5 to go. Race number 45. Sportsman Truggy A main coming up next. Sportsman Truggy A main coming up next. All right, 10:15 down, 19:45 to go. The battle shaping up for second now, Elliott and Spurgeon. So Landon going to scroll back to the battle for second. So now we're watching that battle for second on the LiveRC cameras. Little tap, thank you for the wait. Good job, that's how it's done. All right, here they come. Gets together a little bit again. Waited for as long as he could, and then off he goes into the whoop section. Not sure if Dave Taylor running about 10 seconds back. So it is 10:45 down, 19:15 left to go. 11 down, 19 to go. So we're about 4 minutes away from the halfway point in our second round of pit stops. So now Drew Spurgeon up to second, Donald Elliott down to third. Dave Taylor fourth, and Gleason your top five. Justin Miller the only one off the track in that 16th spot. Taylor now up to fourth, and Gleason still in the fifth spot. We got 11:15 down, 18:45 to go. So Paul Ciccarello down the straightaway. Here comes second spot. That's Drew Spurgeon. And third spot now, 7 seconds back, Donald Elliott. There's Donald down the straightaway. So now the top three pretty much separated. Ciccarello with 3.5 seconds on Drew. Drew with 6 seconds on Donald. Donald with 11 seconds on Dave. And Dave with 8 seconds on Gleason. So your top three starting to spread out a little bit, as we're at 12 minutes down, 18 to go, 12 down, 18 to go. Sportsman Truggy A main up next. Remember, you can warm those engines up for Truggy right now, but as soon as this race is over, we're going to have silence for our award ceremony. Silence for our award ceremony after this one. So Dave Lycum, be ready for another award ceremony in 15 minutes or so, Dave. Thirteen down, 17 to go, drivers. 13 down, 17 to go. 2 minutes away from the halfway point of the 40 and over Nitro Buggy A main. Drew Spurgeon now all over the back of Ciccarello, so the battle is on for the race lead once again over the speed jump. Oh, we got a dead one right after the speed double, but our lead battle getting by that. Oh, and another lap car flying off that double single through the whoop section, coming up on some traffic, heading into the disco ball. The leaders are coming up on you through the disco ball. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and Drew with a nice move as Paul being cautious around the lap car. Drew says thank you very much and takes over that lead spot. All right, 14:45 down, your running order. Ciccarello, Spurgeon, Elliott, Taylor, and Garland, your top five. Lebo 6th, Gleason 7th, Komisar 8th, Thomas 9th, and Aberdeen top 10. Battaglia 11th, Pryce 12th, Lewis 13th. Looks like Jimbo was off the track. He drops to 14. Morin 15. So we are halfway, drivers. Second round of pit stops coming up. You get another minute of silence. 1 minute of silence. Pit stops coming up. right, so 16 down, 14 to go. We'll give you the running order as soon as our leaders get by. All right, set coming up on 17 down, 13 to go. Paul Ciccarello back out front with Drew. We're following around on the LiveRC cameras. It is Ciccarello in the Serpent, Drew Spurgeon in second, Donald Elliott third, Dave Taylor fourth, and Tim Garland, your top five. Lebo in sixth, Komisar seventh, Thomas eighth, Aberdeen ninth, and Battaglia 10th. Jimbo up to 11th after the flame out, Pryce in 12th. Gleason with an issue. He's down in 13th now. Lewis 14th. Bobby Moore 15th. And 15 drivers still racing around. Justin Miller, the only one left, or the only one off the track. All right, 17 and a half down, 12 and a half to go. So good battle. It looks like Drew making the move on Chicky through the whoops is your battle for the lead, and Drew gets it sideways. Here comes Paul. Paul lets off to avoid contact with Drew through the disco ball is your battle for the lead. Spurgeon, your second qualifier, and Chicky, your first qualifier. Down the front straightaway they go. So your top two are checked out. Donald Elliott, 14 seconds behind Ciccarello. So Paul can focus on the front windshield and not worry about the rear view mirror, because there is nobody behind Paul Ciccarello for 12 seconds. So 18 and a half down, 11 and a half to go. Remember, top five make the podium. Right now your podium is Spurgeon, your leader. Oh, not no more. He gets it wrong in the whoop. So Ciccarello, your leader now. Spurgeon second, Elliott third, Taylor fourth, and Tim Garland right now with the last spot on the podium. And Garland with 8 seconds on Lebo for that fifth spot. So Garland with a little bit of a cushion as we're down to 11 minutes to go, drivers. 19 down, 11 to go. 19 down, 11 to go. We got another 30-minute Sportsman Truggy coming up next. Thank you for the wait. Leaders coming through right there. Thank you. A lot of the lap cars letting the leaders get by. You got second place coming by you as well. Those lap cars will have second place coming by. Looks like Spurgeon jumping off the track. So it's going to be a rough lap for Drew. He had a rough last lap. He had fallen 2 seconds behind, but I'm guessing he's going to be about 5 seconds behind Paul. He had traffic. He flew off the front side double. So there's Chicky down the straightaway. We're following with your cameras. Jimbo now off the track. And let's see. Drew Spurgeon not yet by the loop. There he is now, 8 seconds back. He was just battling with Paul, but he had a 45 and a 47 second lap time back to back right after a 46 second pit stop lap. So coming up on 20 minutes down, 10 to go, drivers. 20 down, 10 to go. Race number 44 on the track, 45 Sportsman Truggy A main. Up next, remember, you can warm those engines up now, but you got to kill them right after the race. You'll have to shut those engines off right after the race so we can do our trophy presentation for the 40 and over top 5 finishers. Drew Spurgeon with the fast lap of the race. That was about 6 laps ago. And right there, Drew Spurgeon, a 40.3, the new fast lap of the race last time by for Drew. I'm going to have to lower that minimum lap time. Minimum lap time is 40, so Drew now flirting with the minimum lap time, so we'll move that down to 39. So bringing the heat, Drew Spurgeon now within 6. Watch it, dead car, watch. Oh, almost disastrous. I believe that was Drew, almost with a head-on collision with the broken car on the ramp. So let's follow Drew here. And there's Paul down the straightaway, and Drew gonna roll it over all by himself, hits the pipe. Donald Elliott not close enough to capitalize, so Drew Spurgeon, much like the very first lap and then about lap 5, making a lot of mistakes all by himself here. Paul Ciccarello may not be the fastest one on track, but he is cool, calm, and collected, making no mistakes and just driving the laps. So it's Drew a little bit quicker, but just too many mistakes here. Now going to fall 10 seconds behind as we are about a minute away from our final round of pit stops. So Ciccarello, huge lead. Spurgeon in second, Elliott in third, Taylor fourth, Garland fifth. Those are your podium right now. Lebo one spot off the podium in sixth, Thomas seventh, Aberdeen eighth, Gleason ninth, and Pryce your top 10. Komisar 11th, Battaglia 12th, Lewis 13, Bobby Moore 14, Jimbo off the track 15, and Miller off the track in 16. 22 minutes down, 8 to go, about 30 seconds away from pit stops. Leader coming up into the whoops on some traffic. Be aware, leader right there through the whoops. Be aware, leader right there past the whoops. Into the disco ball. Be aware, leader right behind you. Green and red buggy, leader right behind you. And we'll have to call him out by name. That was Battaglia finally letting the leader get on by after making him work for it a little bit. So Spurgeon now 5 seconds behind Chicky. So Paul with the 42.7 waiting on traffic. Drew with the 40.6. So Drew strapping it up. And it is now 7:30 to go. So final round of pit stops coming up. Another minute of silence coming your way. All right, our final 6.5 to go. So it looks like possibly a new leader here. I'm not sure if Spurgeon made a pit stop. And Spurgeon coming in for fuel, going to get off the lead. He flies in the pit lane and tumbles. All right, 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Paul Ciccarello with a 6-second lead now on Drew Spurgeon. Looks like Aberdeen off the track, Lewis off the track, Kvidera and Miller. So Paul Ciccarello back out front, going into the whoop section. Yellow Serpent, our race leader. So Drew had come in for fuel. So Paul turning his personal best of the race last time by a 41.3 for Paul. That was his best, but just to give you an idea, Drew Spurgeon, his best is a 40.3. So Drew's best lap 1 second quicker than Paul's fast lap, but it is the consistency for Paul that is keeping him out front. The consistency wins every time in these long mains. Drew Spurgeon in second, Donald Elliott third, not every time. Let me rephrase. Garland in fourth. So Garland now moving up to fourth, and Lebo moving up onto the podium. Taylor 6th, Gleason 7th, Thomas 8th, Pryce 9th, Komisar 10th, Battaglia 11, Bobby Moore 12, and only 12 buggies remaining. We're down to 4 minutes to go, drivers, 4 to go. Race number 45, our Sportsman Truggy A main coming up next. Sportsman Truggy A main coming up next. So Taylor not doing too bad. He had a 1 minute 43-second lap time, so it looks like Dave Taylor about 6 or 7 laps ago with the flame out. Still running up in that top 6. Paul Ciccarello now 2 seconds. So Spurgeon gonna make a liar out of me. He's gonna try to catch up to Paul. So speed gonna try to beat consistency. Oh, and another mistake by Drew, missing the first jump and the second jump. But getting back on the track. Donald Elliott 26 seconds behind Drew, so definitely a 2-horse race at this point. With 2:45 to go, can Ciccarello hold off Spurgeon? Chicky down the straightaway. Last time by it was 2.2. Now 1.5 seconds. So not sure if Drew actually made up time, but on that front side double single, he missed the takeoff, the wooden takeoff, and then missed the double, the second, and got back on track between the 2 dirt jumps. So might have been able to make up time right there. Looks like our leader, oh, is that Paul? That might have been Paul making a mistake there right before the whoops, or is that Paul? Couple yellow and orange cars, so I believe Paul coming onto the straightaway. He'll be coming up
2
on,
minutes left.
Yep, Taylor and Lebo, your leader coming up on you. Taylor and Lebo, leader coming up on you. Oh, one of them gets into the other one, and now Lebo or Taylor, I don't know which one that is, in the all yellow, your leader right behind you, going over the speed jump. So coming over the tabletop, leader coming right there, and the lapper wants to race the leader. Once again, guys, you gotta let the leaders get on by. You would want the same respect if you were out front. All right, we're getting down to it. 1 minute to go. It's a 2-second lead.
1 minute
We could
left.
have a photo finish. It is now or never for Drew Spurgeon. He has Chicky in his sights. They are close together, separated by about 1.5 seconds. Chicky into the whoops. Spurgeon into the whoops. 45 seconds ago, they're going to make it by for one more lap. So can Paul Ciccarello in the Serpent hold off Drew? Uh-oh, where'd Drew go? There he is. He's still there. So very important. Coming up on Battaglia. Battaglia, leader, coming up on you on the final lap with 30 seconds to go. So please give the leader some room over the backside double-double. 25 seconds remaining. Battaglia going to let the leader get on by. Looks like Drew making a few more mistakes, trying to reel in Paul. Now it's a 3.5 second lead. 15 seconds. We're following Paul. Remember, top 5 going to go right off the ramp to the podium with your vehicle. Do not go back to the pits. Final lap, 5 seconds to go for your top qualifier in the Serpent. Paul Ciccarello, time has expired. Finish the lap you're on, and the 40 and over champion of 2018, Paul Ciccarello.
Paul Ciccarello done. Steve Battaglia done.
Here comes Drew. Drew going to finish in that
Drew
second
Spurgeon
spot.
done. Rob Gleason done.
Oh, and Gleason going to get the 5th spot on the podium from Lebo on the final lap there. So Gleason
Dave Taylor done.
with the 42.8, Lebo a 46 flat, so Gleason getting the final spot on the podium. Finish the lap you're on, still got several more to finish.
Quincy
Top
Aberdeen
5 going to be Chicky, Spurgeon, Donald Elliott 3rd, Garland 4th, and Gleason. I'm going to need those 5 to the podium.
Komisar
I
done.
got 3 more to finish, waiting on Thomas, Pryce, and Moore. Thomas, Pryce,
Bobby
and
Moore
Moore to
done.
finish. Bobby Moore, you're done. Waiting on 2 more. Looks like only 1 more is on the track. Remember, top 5 go right to the podium. Top 5 go right to the podium.
Scott Thomas
And there's
done.
Thomas, so it looks like Pryce is out. So it's going to be Ciccarello, Spurgeon, Elliott, Garland, and Gleason to the podium. Lebo will finish 6th, Taylor